Hi everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Pastor K. I am Amaka Samuel-Onyeani, and today I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about counseling. So, Pastor K, some people have some questions about counseling. Nowadays a lot of people, they just say you need counseling, you need counseling. How do you know when you actually need counseling?
Okay, that's a good question. The truth is that everybody can do with counseling. One of my mentors, I call him my mentors and my coach. His name is Solomon David. That's King Solomon in the Bible. He has experience better than any Harvard study or research. Solomon had 1,000 women in his life. He had 700 wives, 300 concubines. At a certain time, he had 1,000 women in his life, and Solomon said, "In the multitude of counsel, there's safety." So, if Solomon, the wisest man, can say that you need advice, then you need advice. So, most people think it's when I'm in a crisis that I need counseling, but the real thing is that I need counseling so that I will not be in a crisis in the first place. So, counseling is like servicing your car. It's something you should do regularly. You don't wait till the car breaks down before you go for servicing. It's better to go for regular servicing so that the car will not break down. So everybody needs counseling, starting from premarital counseling, when you, before you want to even pick. In fact, we even have something we call clarity sessions. So before you even pick someone, because most marriages fail before they start. Wow. All right, most marriages, they fail before they start. Wow. So you need clarity sessions to help you even know if you're picking the right person. Somebody still sent me a mail today, and I received these mails regularly from everywhere. Somebody sent me a message today and said, "Oh, Pastor, there's this girl that she left me. I was broke. When I was broke, she now left me." And he was feeling very sad. I told him, "Wow." I said, "God saved you."
Wow.
Yes, he was looking for sympathy, and somebody. I said, "No, God saved you, because a woman that can leave you when you don't have money, is clear that she wasn't with you because in the first place. So many people can." I told him that, and after this, we have to now help you know how to look for the right qualities in a woman. So many people don't even know how to pick. And when you pick the wrong person, the marriage is already almost, gone, Right. So you start from clarity sessions to pick, start for premarital counseling. Even when you pick a good person, a lot of things can go wrong because you are two different people coming from two different backgrounds, two mindsets, two ideologies, So premarital counseling will help. A good counselor will point out things that can be, gray areas or things that can be tough spots for you guys in the future. That will happen. Then even when you get married, it's a different ball game. Now you are in the game itself.
Yes.
So everybody knows that a little coaching here and there, a little advice here and there, a little clarity here and there can still make the marriage itself sweeter. So everybody needs counseling, and especially those that are going through a tough time or going through a difficult issue that is reoccurring. Definitely need counseling. It's not everybody that can sit down at home and talk through their issues. Yeah. Yes, not everybody has that skill. Some people can. In all fairness, some people can, but the little I know is not everybody that can. Counseling is just like exercising. Some people are actually good with handling their own fitness, but many of us can't. Yeah. So we need somebody to tell us the best kind of diet, and to motivate us and say, "Oh, if you want to lose weight in this area, these are the exercises to do." Because I can't just sit here and figure that out.
Yes.
And to take me too much of my time and energy to go and start doing that research myself just for me. Meanwhile, there's somebody that has done it for 1,000 people. So there's no way I'm going to even know better than him, and I'm wasting precious time, which I don't have, studying how to lose weight in my arms, when there's somebody that knows all the exercises and has had the experience with different body types. There are so many things. So
I can testify. I have a coach. I can testify. Yeah.
So,
okay, Pastor K, talking about counseling, a lot of people say, our parents really didn't have any form of formal counseling. And their marriages lasted much longer, compared to this generation that they're always saying, we need to go for counseling, we need to go for counseling. So why do you think that is? Is it a generational gap, or, because their marriages are...
Oh, they lasted better.
Much better.
Lasted longer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good question. The truth is that our parents did have counseling. They did not just have professional counseling. They did not just have counselors that were practicing counselors, but nobody, I'm not sure anybody can survive. In fact, not even just marriage. The truth is that you need counseling in every area of your life. We have counseling in every area of life. We just don't notice it. It's like somebody saying they want to become a pilot and they want to figure it out. What are the odds? They can, but it will take a lot of plane crashes.
Yes.
A lot of lost lives.
Die.
That's the point.
Yeah.
But somebody that has learnt this thing can actually put you through. So in every area of our life, cooking, you didn't just take food and just start mixing the condiments and the ingredients. No, somebody taught you.
Yes.
So every other thing in life, we actually have training. Now what happens is just like cooking. There were not so much of cooking or whatever schools in the past. Yeah. But now there's a lot of that. But it's the same cooking. So is it that we're not getting training then? We were. It was just not formal. So that's how counseling is. Definitely our parents had marriage counseling. Our parents even had matchmaking.
Yes.
It just had everything. Everything you're seeing now is just more professional. It's just more, universal, more global, but more, viral or is more tech. But our parents had everything you're seeing. Human nature and human beings never changes. It's the same challenges we're having, just that solutions are getting better and getting more available. So our parents had matchmaking.
Yes.
So if you wanted to pick a spouse, it wasn't really up to you to just pick a spouse.
Yes.
People would gather together, do investigations, go to the girl's house, go to the village and check the families. So that's matchmaking. And they'll say, what are the girls there? Do they stay in their father's houses? Do they return them after a while? Do they have insanity or mental health issues there? Do they have stubbornness there? That's matchmaking. And you might not have even met this girl before, but they will just match you with this girl or match you with this man and say you will fit. And they use this. Some of the engineering we do in our counseling school, that we teach people, is what they use. But they do their own manually, so they know that respect is important for a marriage to work, especially a woman respecting the man. Particularly. And let me digress here. This doesn't mean women don't need respect. Women just need a different kind of respect. That's the difference. Because some people just say, oh, why do you say men need submission? No, the kind that men need are very different from the one women need. All right? Women need, for instance, attention.
Yes.
It's different from the kind of attention men need. Men don't need you to look at them and say, oh, if a man needs attention, he needs you to help him. That's the attention he needs. But a woman, you might not even help her, but she needs you to talk to her. Yeah. Pay her focus on her. Yeah. So when we say, oh, men need respect, it doesn't mean women don't need it. In fact, every human being needs respect. Even animals. Dogs, your dog needs some respect. Okay. If you live in developed nations, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Everybody needs it. So that's not what we're talking about. So they understand that for a marriage to work, a woman must be able to respect the man. Because women love who they respect. And also men love who respects them. So what they do is that they look for a large age difference.
Yeah, so that respect comes naturally.
So you see, they're manually engineering things we are teaching. But they're manually engineering it. So they make sure the man has worked for many years, so he's more financially capable, because providing for a woman is very important at the same time.
Yes, very.
So the man has worked for a long time. This woman is just starting life. So these things help respect to happen naturally, in their own way. So but in our own time now, of course, people are getting married closer age difference, so we have to teach.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah.
But they didn't have to. They didn't wait for you. They did the matchmaking. They did the counseling. Like in my own house, many other people have shared this. My mother was a major counselor, unofficially.
Yes.
All young women, young marriages, they always used to come and complain about their husbands. And my mom would tell them, oh, that's how men are. This how to do it. This how to do it. And my mom would advise and advise. I heard those things back to back. And I'm sure most women here will tell you that their mothers did something like that.
Yeah.
So they were doing counseling.
Yeah.
It was just not official. It's like event planning. We've always had event planners. It was not just official.
It was just
when you were having aunties will come and share food. That's event planning.
Yeah.
But now it's more organized, more packaged.
Yes.
So that's
and
what
it's better.
It's better now.
It's better.
Now they've studied the science of it.
Yes.
Because now in those parents' time, they were just doing, sometimes they would mix it with their native wisdom, mix it with some principles that were not really founded on any real statistics or data. But now, a lot of things are, you can check it, you can fact check it. So that's the difference. It's just more polished, more professional. Yeah. So, but counseling has always existed and will always exist. So that's why we're even doing, we're training coaches now, we're training counselors. It's a good side or full career path. For anybody that knows you have a flair for it or you have a passion for it, people are always coming to ask you for advice. Become professional, learn, and be better and give really good advice. And it's a good career path because people will always need counseling. That I'm sure about.
Yeah.
And the ratio for counselor to client is still quite low. So we actually need more counselors in the world so that we can get more marriages. So definitely our parents had everything.
So you've heard it, so counseling is important. It is important. But Pastor K, still going back to our parents' generation, I mean, a lot of people will say that, you know, if our parents' marriages worked because they had this informal counseling, then why should I go to a formal counselor versus going to my mother? So if I have marital issues, why can't I talk to my mother rather than, you know, a professional counselor?
Question. Number one, your mom is not a professional. So she might be limited in her scope of understanding. People like us, we've studied wide. We've studied different scenarios, different ages, different cultures. So that's one. Your mom is not a professional. Secondly, there's the issue of generational change.
Right.
The times of your parents are kind of different from now. Like I said, they did a lot of things manually then that we don't have today. So you need somebody that is a bit up to date with what are the trending trends now. For instance, you know, feminism wasn't even a thing then.
What was that?
It's now a big, yes, it was not a word then.
Yes.
Now it's a thing.
Yes.
Managing the 21st century woman is different from managing the woman of that time.
Definitely.
The woman of that time didn't compete for jobs, the kind of jobs that men did. The jobs women did then were limited, were either teachers, nurses, some kind of jobs like that. You know, so, but now the women of today are MDs, CEOs, presidents, prime ministers. So, and they even come later, they close later than even the men. So, and they make more money than the men.
You have to
so
put
you
that
see,
part.
so those are the reasons why you can't just go to your parents, because if they're not, except they're studying regularly and they're trained, they will have areas where they will give you bad advice innocently. Third reason why it might not be good to go to family, because that's a major thing mistake people make. Family will get sentimental.
Yes.
So, one of the major no-nos, major big mistakes some couples or people make is when I have an issue with my fiancé or my husband or my wife, I go to my family. Your family will support you. They'll say, we trained you well. He must be the problem. So most times, it's only rare cases, but most times they are too sentimental to give you objective advice. So we've had to handle many cases like that where they gave bad advice. And you know, on that thing about telling your parents, oh, my husband insulted me, my husband insulted you. Because sometimes your husband or wife can insult your family.
Yes, yes.
You probably telling them that is that after you and your husband make up, you will forgive your husband because you love him.
Yes,
they might not
family.
forgive. So they might hold on to that thing. So it's against good advice.
Right.
To go to family, except as a last resort, or except, you know, you don't have an option. But if you do have an option, a professional is better. Your case can be handled with discretion. Confidentiality is there. Objectivity is there. And professionalism, this person actually has tools and real facts to address the issue. Not just, oh, you are maltreating my daughter, or you are maltreating my son. This girl must be the problem. Go and marry another wife. Or go and, you know, so it gets messy sometimes when we involve family. So that's why a professional counselor or a professional coach is better anytime.
Okay, so Pastor K, we know that, you know, you're a professional counselor and you charge, you know, and some people may not be able to afford, you know, you. And I'm sure that if everybody in the world came to you, you know, it would be a long waiting line. So someone that cannot afford you, what should that person do?
Good. First, let me say this, that don't be afraid to pay for counseling. I made a big mistake many years, not really a big mistake, but, you know, I suffered a lot those days when I was just doing counseling for free.
Right.
Because people just play with what you're saying. People don't take you seriously.
They don't put value to it.
They don't put any value to it. So you keep telling them the same things and they keep making the same mistake, and they're going to come back to you to repeat. They're going to spend hours and hours of your time. You know, I discovered that people pay attention when they pay. People pay attention when they pay. So it's better. In fact, sometimes they will cancel themselves at home because they know that coming to tell you this funny thing they want to say, you know, it's
cost them money.
They're going to just, you know, develop sense.
Yes, yes.
So it has been better for me, you know, and for all of us since I started charging. For me, it's not so much about the money; it's about the value. And counseling generally takes time. It's a bit different from my pastoral duties, because some people say, "Oh, you know, a pastor." No, this is another field altogether. I had to be trained. My own trainings cost me thousands of dollars. There's no training I've done that is cheap. All of them are thousands, and I try to get coached by the best. You know, so it costs thousands of dollars. So anybody to lead counseling for free, probably not trained. Anybody that's trained will understand the value that he has paid to even get that knowledge
training.
he wants to give you. So, so you know, it's for me, it's not so much about the money; it's the fact that it helps the person respect and appreciate what they are hearing, you know, and they take it better, they learn faster, they place value on it, you know. And like my pastoral duty of praying, I have 10 minutes, 5 minutes, I can pray for you and you go. But when I'm doing marital counseling, sometimes 5 hours we're still on the case. So
5 hours.
Yeah. So where am I going to get that time to do that with everybody? So charging helps to streamline those that are really serious. And in case you can afford me, yes, I understand that you know, people are in different levels, but we still have other levels of counselors, especially in our team. We have that can do at a price you can afford. See, people must learn to pay, because that same person that says he can't pay for counseling will pay for something else.
Yes.
Will pay for something else.
Yes.
On your wedding, counseling is the cheapest thing. Renting the hall, printing flyers, cooking, everything is more expensive than counseling, but people yet will try not to pay for counseling. Anybody talking about love is not cheap. If you are going to love another human being, it's expensive.
It's expensive.
You must at least be able to pay for counseling. That's the most important. That's one that will stay with you throughout the marriage. The rice you eat or the food you eat during the wedding is not going to outlast a few hours.
Nobody even remembers.
Nobody remembers that. Yeah. The photograph, all those things are going to go. The counseling stays with you. That determines how the marriage itself goes. So people must learn to pay. And the person telling you can't pay for counseling will still go and spend money on something else that is not as important, to his happiness. And how much is even divorce? How would I ask people? If you say counseling is expensive, how much is divorce? I've seen people escape paying for counseling, but go and pay way 10 times for divorce.
Not talk about the emotional.
Or heartbreak, yes. Health,
that thing costs.
Some get sick,
depression.
Some get depression. So, nobody will go and tell a photographer, I'm getting married, please come and take my pictures for free. I don't say anybody do that. Nobody go and tell an MC that come and do my MC. Nobody can tell a baker that come and bake my cake, my wedding cake for free. But when it comes to counseling, something is telling them that this is not valuable and I can get it for free.
Right.
Because knowledge is free. Knowledge is not free.
And that is the most valuable thing, actually, getting counseling before marriage. Because it's the marriage that's important, not the wedding.
Not the wedding.
Not the wedding.
Yes.
Not the wedding.
The wedding is just a few hours.
Yes.
And the good thing about our team is that when we counsel you, it's like we're a counselor for life. We're going to walk the journey with you. That's why it's good to have one good counselor that is with you, because the person knows your history. Probably knows you premarital counseling, knows you in the marriage. So there are things he would have identified from premarital that he will still be able to handle with you in marriage, as opposed to just meeting random people. So those are the benefits of it.
Okay, so Pastor K, you talked about the fact that counseling takes a long time, So how many sessions averagely, or how long should a counseling session last? So if I want to go through counseling, let's say it's marriage counseling, for example, how many sessions should I expect to go through before I can say that, okay, I've been properly counseled? Okay,
well, it's not fixed. It depends on what this case is. So for some people, we do an abridged version. Maybe there are people that are in a hurry, they have a short time to the wedding, and they just want to do something.
But is that advisable to
do an abridged Absolutely version? Not. It's not advisable. But there are people that's just what they want, and I would rather give them that than not give them anything at all. Because marriage is just going to be a tough journey. The reality is setting. So I'd rather just give them something for the journey. And when they get to where they need more help, they will definitely remember that, oh, this helped us and we need to go and get more. Rather than not, in time past I used to not give anything at all, but I discovered that that wasn't really helping. So, but I would rather you do the full thing. It depends on what the couple is dealing with and, who the counselor is. But I know most time premarital will run anywhere from 8 to 12 or more sessions. The truth about counseling is that there's no limit. It depends on what you're dealing with and how well the couple, are picking up and responding.
Right.
So if it's infidelity recovery, for instance, that takes longer, because in those days, when there's infidelity, people just say, oh, tell each other sorry and go home.
Move on.
Yes.
I'll move on.
And things get worse.
Yes.
So now that there's light, there's infidelity recovery counseling. I'm trained in that, and my wife too is also trained in that. So there are processes to it that can guide the couple to make sure they get back to where they used to be. So it can take as long as 12 sessions or more. It all depends on where the couple is, how serious the particular case that we're dealing with is, and all that.
Okay, so final question. You talked about infidelity recovery counseling, and you talked about marital counseling, and I'm sure that people deal with a vast array of issues beyond marriage, beyond infidelity, so to speak. So what sort of counseling do you provide?
Oh, we do almost everything. Now, however, we train our coaches to understand that it's good to specialize.
Right.
For me, right now I'm trying to do more of coaching other coaches. So one of the things is that you must specialize. So, like you mentioned, there's premarital counseling. Some people, that's their specialty. So they're good at helping you do assessments, check who you are doing. Some people do even clarity sessions. So that even helps you pick. Because like I said, most marriages fail from the choice of the person. From the person you pick, this is never going to work. So they help you ask you questions, they help you identify who you are, and help you show you that this will work or this will not work. This will fit with who you are. You know, so that goes from there to marital counseling itself. When you're already married, you're talking about differences, conflict resolution, communication. Some sessions are just to build. Some are to build intimacy. That one is a major one. So you're building intimacy and helping you see that at different levels of intimacy, what do I need to be doing regularly to build intimacy? Some are, you know, things that have to do with depression, like you mentioned, substance abuse or domestic violence. So it goes. Counseling is limitless, really. You know, and we do a lot of those things. But like I said, right now I'm focusing more on training coaches. Yeah, but people on our team can take you on almost all these things, you know, even sexual addiction, all those things, self-esteem. That one is even major because most of your decisions come out of your self-esteem.
Your self-worth, but how you feel about yourself, yes.
So most of the decisions come out. Somebody sent me a message today. He said, there's this girl, I love her so much, but she doesn't love me. What should I do? I told the guy, you don't love her. I said, you don't even love yourself. Because if you love yourself,
you won't be running after somebody that doesn't love like you.
Yes. So if you don't love yourself, you can't even give what you don't have. So things like that. So most people don't realize that your problem is not coming because of your decisions. It's coming because of who you are. It's who you are that is making those kind of decisions. So there's no limit to counseling, and having a trained person just has a way of giving you clarity. You know, about anything in life. Even me as a counselor, I enjoy the benefit of counseling. So I still have coaches and people I talk to
that counsel
bring me.
you.
Oh, definitely. Wow. You see the way it works. There are aspects of your life you can't see. Focus creates blindness. So just like a doctor saying, because I'm a doctor, I'm a surgeon. I'm the best heart surgeon or whatever in the world. I'm going to carry out my own heart surgery.
No,
it's not going to happen.
It's not possible.
Yes, you're going to lie down. Somebody else is going to do it. So that's how it works. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It just means you want somebody to help you. So when somebody is speaking to me, so I'm seeing aspects of my life that I wasn't noticing. I'm seeing aspects of life that I'm letting the ball drop, that I need to improve. A lot of us need to improve. It's like a coach. The best footballers in the world still have coaches. Why would Lionel Messi have a coach? Why would Ronaldo have a coach? Because that coach can see aspects of their game that still needs improvement.
So Pastor K, I know that was supposed to be my last question, but just to add, what's the problem? Why are men afraid of counseling? Because you just said that you yourself, you receive counseling, and you have a good reputation out there. So what is the problem, and what advice will you give to men about counseling?
This is a very common question I get to. Men really struggle with opening up.
Yeah.
In the world of men, letting somebody tell me what to do means I'm weak, means I don't know what to do, means I'm agreeing that I'm inadequate. You know, this is the psychology of a man. It's not the true picture, but that's the psychology they have. So they would rather try to figure it out themselves, because that's how men. And fail many times and suffer. Many of them suffer, and their families suffer because they're trying to figure out something that somebody else could just sit them down and coach them. So it takes a lot of humility for men to open up for counseling, but they need it. In fact, the two things men need the most are the things they struggle with the most. They need to listen to their wives, because your wife is a gift to you. She's a helper. I mean, hear the name. God said you need help, and I'm sending you help, and that's the person you are struggling to receive help from. She is there to help you. I won't be sitting here today doing this interview, running this counseling ministry, running this church without the help of my wife. Some days I just send her a chat and say thank you.
Yes.
And she's asking me, what are you saying? I say, look, every day I look at my life, I just say, I won't be here if I didn't have you. So help. The second person that will make a man's life better is God. So when you open up for help like that to God, and for men of God or people of God to bring you, counsel of God, it will help your life. But men struggle with those two things. They want to figure it out, and it takes some of them years and years and years of making mistakes, hurting their spouses, hurting their families. And by the time they start learning, a lot of them live in regret. By the time they start learning is late. And some of them struggle also with pain. They don't see, they're wondering, why am I going to pay somebody else to tell me what to do?
Because it's of value.
Because it's of value. They would rather pay for football, pay for some other things.
Which is not
even as valuable. So it's a struggle for men. And I hope seeing videos like this and talking to them will help them begin to understand that investing in your family. Counseling is one of the ways you invest in your family. And investing in your family is one of the most valuable things you can do for yourself. Because how you treat your wife affects your whole life. So that's why men struggle with it.
Okay, so Pastor K, do people actually change when going through counseling or haven't gone through counseling? Is there a change, or people just, go through the emotions and go back to, how they were before? Is there any actual change from your experience?
Yeah. Yes, people change, definitely. Statistics have shown that with counseling, a couple has about 30% less chance of getting a divorce. So counseling greatly improves the chances of the marriage surviving. You know, so people change. What happens is that a good counselor, a good coach understands people's learning patterns.
Right.
So everybody doesn't learn the same way. So you can't just come every time the same way and approach every case. Some people learn differently. Some people learn from what they are running from. Or let me say, some people are motivated by what they are running from. Some are motivated by what they are running to. Some learn by theoretical things. Some learn by practical things. So a good counselor knows how to, you know, vary his approach based on who he's dealing with. So if he's not getting results in a certain way, he will know. Because everybody, once people can see, when somebody is not changing their actions, they are just not seeing. Every action we are doing is we are choosing something as opposed to something. And let me just paint a natural picture for you. If I have $1 million in this hand and I have 1 million scoops of ice cream in this hand and I offer it to you, which one will you choose?
I didn't even see the ice cream.
Yeah, exactly.
I just saw, all I saw was
you
dollars.
are motivated now, but if I show a child the same thing, they'll choose the ice cream.
Ice cream, yes.
Do you see? Because to them, that is what value is.
Yes.
But if I can sit that child down and help him understand that this will buy
this
1 billion of this.
Yeah.
He will suddenly begin to see value. And I need to help him see it.
Right.
If I can't help him see it, he's still going to pick the ice cream. So anybody can change. We just have to work hard
to make the person
see it. And that's why coaches matters. You know, I've attended many certification courses, many trainings, you know, from the best people in the world. And I've done this for 20-something years, and I still get better. I still learn new things. So I know that there's no end to this journey. So that's why we're asking people that if you have a flair for this thing, or you're already even a coach and you feel you need to learn more, register for the courses we do. You can get better. If you can just help people see. If somebody's not changing, they are just not seeing. They are choosing something over something because they think there's a reason for everything you're doing. You just don't know, but there's a reason. You are choosing something over another thing. When someone is lazy, he's choosing sleep or rest over work. Thinking that work is stressful, not knowing that this sleep will cause you more stress eventually.
Yes.
You know, but if you work, you can eventually sleep. So you just have to help that person see. And that's where the job is. Once they can see, they become motivated, and you motivate them and, you know, help them to make the journey. So you kind of help them hack their minds. All of us can be better. Let me give you another example. Sometimes I used to jog those days. Now I don't do most of jogging. I play tennis. You know, that's part of it. That's even one thing on it by itself. So aerobics or any routine-based exercise bores me. But I need to do exercises. But thank God I don't have to do any routine exercise. Playing tennis means I'm competing with somebody. I prefer that.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun.
So you see, I'm getting my end result, but through a different route. It mustn't be aerobics. It mustn't be the same routine exercise. So I've hacked my mind. When I was doing routine exercise, I hated exercises. So there'll be a time when I'll be jogging, and I'll say I'm tired. I can't go any further. And the moment I see somebody that knows me, you know, I'm planning that I'm going to walk. Maybe somebody that knows me, I say, "Oh, you're jogging." I'll just get energy.
You start jogging.
Now, that means the energy was there.
Right.
That incident hacked my mind and released more energy. That was already there. They didn't send me energy from somewhere.
Yes.
It was there. So that's how we are in life. All of us can be better. Everybody can be better if they have the right motivation, the right inspiration. So when people mock motivational speakers, they don't understand. Somebody just being there telling you to do it. The person might never be as great as you, but it just makes you do more than you thought you could do.
Yes.
You get better
And that's
results.
what a coach does.
That's what a coach does. That's what counseling does. Counseling helps you bring clarity, ask you some questions that will help you discover, you know, what I'm doing won't get me to what I really want. What I really want is this, and I'm going the wrong way. And the person will help you get back or get the strength or the clarity to go the right way. So people change. It just takes time. Now you need their cooperation too.
Yes.
You know, to some. We're not magicians. Definitely not magicians.
Definitely.
But most good coaches will get at least more results than.
And if they pay, they will also cooperate.
Oh, they cooperate better.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Definitely, the cooperation is better.
Yes.
Exactly.
So this has been so interesting. Thank you so much, Pastor K. You heard it. Counseling is for everyone. It's not just for married people, single people. Anybody can do counseling. All right. Thank you so much. See you next time.
I want to encourage you. We're doing our coaching courses. You can join us at any time. It's self-paced and it's virtual, so you can be anywhere in the world. You can do it at your pace, and it's one of the best counseling or coaching courses you will do, fully certified. So please go register. The details are available on the screen. go register. And you can be anybody. You can be single, you can be married, you can be divorced, you can be separated, you can be coached, you can still be a counselor. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. Your experience can be precious to even your practice. So don't let anything stop you. If you know you have a flair for this, let's do it.